Hey, this is the franchise Shane Douglas.
The walking weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're watching.
And you're watching.
Yamane, aka WWE.
Here to this podcast with Ollie Harper, my man.
And you are watching Ollie Harper at YouTube.com.
And you're watching the Ollie Harper Show on YouTube.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's me, Ollie, aka TNSAttitude, and I am back again here on YouTube.com for all things professional wrestling. Now, today, guys, I've got another in the series of the what ifs, because what ifs is something that happens in professional wrestling when you look at the deeper landscape and you look at the future and you can fantasy book. But, guys, I'm breaking it down for you today, guys, because in the most recent of rumors and news and speculation, in the last week or so, the news that was coming out of a possibility of Shane McMahon joining AEW. You know, this came from Grilling JR, and then, of course, Tony Khan would speak to Sports Illustrated and actually mention that, you know, he's a big fan of Shane McMahon and that the possibility he would be welcoming AEW very, very much. Now, I actually was listening to a brand new podcast today from WSI Shoot Interviews with James and, of course, the Stevie Richards Show. Excellent podcast, available on Apple Music, or on Apple Podcasts, should I say, and here on YouTube.com. But they were actually discussing this very topic, and I actually wanted to do a bit of a response to that as well in terms of the fantasy book in regarding Shane McMahon coming into AEW. You know, this would be quite a groundbreaking thing for a lot of reasons, of course, because Shane McMahon coming from WWE, coming from the biggest wrestling company in the world and going over to the competitor, it would almost feel again very much like in theory like when Shane was on Nitro. And I feel that whole moment in time will really stand out as like what Matt Hardy said in his autobiography. You know, it really did feel like when the alien meeting the president, just crazy stuff. But honestly, from my perspective, if Shane was to come into AEW, I feel that he would, without a shadow of a doubt, on TV, he'd have an authority role. I feel that authority role would very much maybe be, he would have to be babyface. And, I agree with what Stevie and James were saying. He would have to be a babyface for that first year of run, without a doubt. Really just to kind of build the that anticipation of him getting in the ring. And I think the fans would just love seeing Shane in a new environment. And then, where they decide to go, the Shane McMahon thing works both ways. If he's face, he's there to help AEW. He's there to support it. He's there to maybe even go up against the evil elites right now, of course, with the Young Bucks and what they've been causing, and how they've been causing all these problems for Tony Khan on screen. But now behind the scenes, Shane McMahon would be a valuable asset, without a doubt. Shane, I really do feel, would be an element to AEW that would be incredibly helpful. He would coming out of WWE, and going to AEW would be, without a doubt, a very helpful resource, I think, for Tony Khan, and somebody that Tony Khan should definitely listen to. And I said last week, in the biggest issues that face AEW in 2024, this would be something I feel that would hopefully help All Elite Wrestling move forward and get some buzz back and get some get some genuine interest off the fans, because I do feel that is one of the things that they're lacking. I think Shane would really help that. I think that whether that be through bringing in a bit more of a storyline with, really telling stories with the characters that they've got and the wrestlers that they've got, and really, telling some good stories, writing some good TV, because I think in a lot of ways that's sometimes where AEW gets it wrong. And I think having Shane there, whether he's behind the scenes supporting that, he would be an excellent asset. The EVP role is something that I feel would be definitely an addition for Shane McMahon for sure. Now, like I say, he works, and again, I got to agree, he works in the in-ring, I mean, the last time, of course, that we saw Shane McMahon was at SoFi Stadium, ironically, at WrestleMania 39. I was at that show, and that's where he had the injury, and we didn't see him for a long while. He's not been in a WWE ring since, but, you put him in there, and he could have those street fights, those last man standing matches, I think, and put him up against somebody like a John Moxley. I think they could have some real fun in there. So, yeah, I feel that there's that element to it as well that Shane could really bring. And, the whole element of the nod to not really mentioning Vince, but the mentioning him as just dad on a TV or in a vignette is something that I have to agree. I think that would be incredibly cool. I feel like, to just nod it and not, because you wouldn't bring Vince to TV. I think that would be quite a, just for all the wrong reasons. And of course, with this whole big lawsuit that's going on, I think Vince keeps out of this 100%. And that would be crazy. But, you have Shane McMahon turn up on AEW. It's kind of wild, really. I mean, it's almost like when TK announced that he bought Ring of Honor, and he did it in front of that Jacksonville crowd at Daly's place, and he said, it's not Shane. And I was just at the time thinking, he's bringing up Shane. This seemed a little strange back then, and it kind of makes you think whether Shane McMahon's maybe been on that radar, at some point during the time. I do feel like it would be pretty groundbreaking, if Shane got out of WWE back in 2000, and I want to say it was like 08, 07, 08, he left WWE, and for a little bit, he went into the fight business. So, to see Shane go from WWE and go to the competitor, it doesn't seem as far-fetched as you'd think. It really doesn't. And I think there's definitely something there. If he did go, I feel it would definitely give it, like I say, it would give AEW some buzz. And I think it would really be a benefit for them to really, hopefully, make them grow as well. Because that's what I feel is the most important thing. For me, I feel like All Elite Wrestling right now, I don't feel like they're on the decline. I feel like their pay-per-views are still very, very good. I heard excellent things from Forbidden Door. But the weeklies really struggle, and this is a big problem. The weeklies really are about managing to keep people coming each and every week to their shows, but it seems like the pay-per-views really are still doing okay. But the actual weekly Dynamites, Rampage, Collision, they need a lot of help, and I feel that that's where the support of a Shane coming in would probably be the best for them. He would definitely be an asset, without a doubt. Now, if you're going to go down the heel side of bringing Shane, it would be to bring the company down. Now, that may be through an anti-All Elite Wrestling faction, something where, you get all your former WWE guys, but then I guess you kind of you may be doing the NWO again, because that's kind of what that was. So, yeah, they gotta do something original. But in terms of having Shane there in a booking, in a creative role or something of that nature, I think AEW benefits 100%. Somebody from WWE, a McMahon in All Elite Wrestling, that is just, it's crazy to think, but I think at the same time would be a great, great thing. So, who knows? Great, like I say, it was really fun to listen to the Stevie Richards Show podcast. Highly recommend it, guys. Go check it out. It's on YouTube, on the WSI Shoot Interviews page. It's also on Apple Podcasts. Just type Stevie Richards Show in there. Go check it out. I really enjoyed it. Really fun new podcast. But yeah, as I say, that is about it from me. And as I say, if you want to hit me up below this video, let me know your thoughts. How do you think Shane McMahon would fare in All Elite Wrestling? I'd love to hear what you guys have got to say. And that is about it from me. As I say, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like, and I will catch you down the road for another video. I'm out, guys.